for bad luck. Comedian Jim Norton. No, this isn't a hair club for men infomercial. He's the second bald guy on tonight's panel. Campus Reform Higher Education Fellow Nicholas Giordano. She's like a sunflower, thin, colorful, and plucked from abandoned lots. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Tiff. He's sizable, recognizable, and messing with him is inadvisable. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA World Champion. Jim, I like to think of you as an up from your bootstraps kind of guy. You didn't get where you got with any DEI. You're just a odd, obnoxious white male.
Thank you, Greg. And I'm actually laying on my back, holding my bootstraps.
Good for you. Wow. I'm picturing that right now, and it's not pretty. Do you think this is a good trend, watching DEI go? And is there DEI in comedy?
It's hard. There is in every business, but I think it's not spoken. No one says it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, I know, like, I haven't gotten things just because I'm, like, a white male. Like, I did a show this weekend, and like, if you ask the 37 people that were there, like, I should really be doing a lot better than I am.
Yes.
I'm being held back because I have man breasts. Yeah, you know, it's funny. Conservatives didn't ruin this. Progressives did.
Yeah.
Like, they wrecked it. Like, most people don't mind an honest trying to balance the scales,
right,
make up for things that are unfair. I don't think anybody, but it's like, it just became this thing of, hey, we don't want white people in this space. And everybody's like, just shut up.
Yes.
And it made everybody sick and tired of it. And diversity shouldn't be a word that makes you sick to your stomach.
No.
But you hear it and you just go, blech.
Is that amazing? It's like they ruined something good because they don't have an off switch or a dial it back switch. Nick, you're from the academia, the world of academia. Am I like blowing the horn too soon? Is this stuff actually going out the door?
Well, first, I want to thank the inclusivity of Gutfeld to allow two follically challenged people to appear at the same time. Yeah. With that being said, be suspicious, right? They'll probably rebrand DEI onto something else, repackage it. And, you know, there have been professors and institutions like Campus Reform that have been warning about diversity, equity, inclusion, how it leads to tribalism. Yeah. It leads to people chanting death to America. It's based on anti-Americanism. And I think these institutions, at least some of them, have realized that the movement has gone a little too far when you have a bunch of spoiled, entitled brats screaming that America is a racist and evil country. At the same time, they're calling for intifada and celebrating a terrorist organization that will destroy Christians, has purged Christians and Jews from its land, and wants to destroy societies, right? I mean, so it really, you see how ironic it is that these leftists have gone too far. But I got a better idea than defunding. Mm-hmm. We should take the money that's being used and send all these people to the most horrible places around the world we could find, and I will guarantee you, they will come back with a new appreciation for the United States of America, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, sending them to Chicago is not going to solve any problems. Kat, all right. We know human resources is a screwy business, but I would
never say that. I love you, human resources. If you're watching this, I'm on your side. Sorry.
My file is a bit different than yours. But there's a Society for Human Resources Management, and they thought the solution was take DEI and reverse it.
Yeah, I mean, none of it makes sense, right? For them to take this long, as you pointed out, to say, oh, these statements that we tell people to write, compulsory statements don't work. I think it's worse than that. I think that actually there's no greater gift you can give to a manipulative, fake person than to outright tell them this is what you need to say in order to get what you want, which is all that is. I mean, there's been so many times in my life when I've been like, he likes all the same things I like. Like, no, Kat, you dumb bitch. He doesn't like those things. He knows that you like those things, so he's pretending to like those things. But this is literally, if you wanted to have someone give a statement and then maybe diversity is a part of that, that's how you would know the person cared about diversity. It's like, write this statement about how diversity is important to you. I think they're probably going to write about how diversity is important to them, whether it is or it isn't.
Yes.
And that's just basic logic. But if you say something like that, then that means you don't care about these. That's got nothing to do with it.
That makes me think, how many guys are actually saying they like Taylor Swift?
I know one specifically. I think he plays for the Chiefs. He's going, oh, I love that song, babe. Oh, man,
Yeah.
tear in my eye. Wow.
She found the one guy that likes Taylor Swift, and she's going to marry him.
Yes.
What do you make of this? I think this is actually good for students and good for employers.
I just think we always miss the lesson. And the perfect example is by changing the name of something. But that's kind of how the woke work. They take words that mean one thing and they change them to the other. But now we're on to them. So now they're just moving letters around like it's going to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's at some point someone has to look, Dr. Evils, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's not working.
Yeah, it's just not enough for you. You know, it was like that whole thing about the Seinfeld thing.
Yeah.
The Cat's Point, 22,000 people. 40 walked out, and 2 of them were Newman. So, I mean, it's not even like, you know what I'm saying? But they're like, that's the problem. So it's over. It's done for them. But we're not learning the lesson because we're not going to the people that it was affected by. We're not propping up the ones who were dismissed. We're not apologizing to lower class white America. We're not apologizing to men and women. We're just saying, oh, we're doing this. No. It needs to be more than. It's more than just, hey, there's a check for police officers. It needs to be from the universities. We're not only going to do that, we're going to have scholarships for getting people in law enforcement. We're going to do this. We're going to make up for the last 5 years of embarrassing and ruining people's lives and people who work their ass off being told no because you're white. That's just as bad as in the 60s saying, no, Tyrus, you can't sit around this table because you're black. It's the same thing.
Is the administrators and the professors that actually
But it starts with recognizing, not just changing. You have to recognize and say, we up, we listened to the wrong people, and we're going to fix it. And this is how.
You know how you know these college students are frauds? Because at Harvard now they've given up on this little sit-in they were doing.
Yeah.
And they're demanding to be reinstated.
Yes.
Instead of just leaving the school, which is still doing business with Israel, they're actually, we want to be reinstated because they're not willing to give anything up.
Yeah.
They got nothing, and they're like, all right, we got nothing. Please put us back in class.
Exactly. It's some hunger strike. Call me when you're dead.
Yeah, it was a hunger moment.
Yes. Up next, are voters disgusted because Cohen can't be trusted?